When you think of AI, do you think of these complex formulas, mathematics, and year-long projects, or do you think about Instagram filters? Today I want to cover a few practical implementation of AI in a product like PowerPoint. PowerPoint might not be the first product when you think of AI, but I want to show you a few features that I actually use in my day-to-day life. So let's dive into it. When you say you want to start a new file, PowerPoint now has this new thing called Start an Outline. It's important that if you don't see it, make sure that you say File New, not where you see your recent documents. If you double click here, it will ask you about what topic you want to write. So in my case, let's say electric cars. Enter. Now it uses Bing to search the topic of electric cars and it will give me some findings. So here I can go down and say, no, it's electric cars. And now it will give me an outline of what I should cover. I could say, I really don't want to cover the EV plants from manufacturer. This is not about manufacturer. This is really about electric cars. Now all I have to do is say next. PowerPoint will give me some pre-populated design templates that I can choose in which I wanted to fill these topics. I like this one with the black background. I say create. And now PowerPoint will create a complete outline and slides for me to work on. Now think about back in the days when you were in school, if you had that function where you had to do a report on something. Now for the next demonstration, we're just going to start with a blank white template, so not an outline. So as you can see here, if I start a new white template, it now shows me also on the right side some templates, which is continuously updated, so you will have more options as we're going forward. Some even with animated background, which looks super awesome if you are presenting in a bigger room with a big screen, will make it more engaging. People are like, oh wow, I never seen that. So that might be a trick up your sleeve. But I don't want to talk about the animated background today. I want to talk about a few things Microsoft does. For example, as you can imagine in product marketing, we're working with Microsoft on different events. Could be our big events, flagship events, but it could be also smaller events. And so a function of AI that I use quite often is actually this. If I say here, I want to make a new slide and I start here, I could start, for example, with saying March 2021, we had MS Ignite, or let's just call it Spring Ignite. We can then go ahead and we know in May 2021 we're gonna have build. Then and I'm making this up, June 2020 made up event. And then we're gonna make July 2021 MS partner event. And then let's just call, and this is not the date, so I don't know when it happens. I'm just choosing October 21. I say Fall Ignite. Now, if I quickly click away from the text, you will see that the designer on the right side here, the design ideas, will show me different ways to show these events. And so you see, for example, here, you see it added icons. And when you look at the icons are based on AI. So here he uses fire because we have Ignite. Partner, he uses partnership. The made up, I guess, because the rocket goes up, or build, he uses an icon for build. So he's super smart, it really uses that. But that's not what I use it for. But very often I have to show for the products that I represent which events that we're gonna look at in the next 6 months or the next 12 months. But I use this timeline quite a lot. And then because we often work with slide templates that we get that we need to populate with information, I just copy this from here and put it to the other side. Also, if we have a new slide, for example, and we want to insert pictures, and now we say electric cars. Now we see like pictures of electric cars, and I can select the pictures that I like. So let's just take 4 pictures. and I say, please insert them into my slides, immediately PowerPoint Designer goes to work and gives me different templates of how I could use them or assemble them. And if you see here with the circle, it actually uses AI to predict what they think is the most appealing piece or the most important piece in that picture as you're clicking through these options. That also works if you add those pictures straight from your hard drive if you had some, so you don't actually need to use the online pictures. The awesome thing here is it also adds the sources of where you had the picture from, so super helpful. So you saw, like, AI uses the outline function that can make your template what you should cover on any given topic that you need to present on. You can create lists either for timelines, and it uses AI where it takes keywords out of your text. You can make the same if you want to make a guidelines like 1, 2, 3, 4 when you use numbers instead of bullet points, where he follows like follow these steps and creates design guidelines. Both with the events and the other one I use quite often. And for personal, when we do trips or things like that, when I have personal work, not so much Microsoft, because with Microsoft we have our picture libraries of approved pictures that I can use, but in my personal world I even use the picture function, and I'm super happy because it takes so much work to make a slide like this manually without the side designers. I don't know if you're a pro, maybe you do it in less than 60 minutes. For me, it's definitely going to be a 60-minute job. So you see how a more or less traditional product like PowerPoint has been so much enriched and adds so much more value with infusing AI into it. That makes me look great, like I'm some kind of a PowerPoint wizard or a power user. I hope you enjoyed today's session. If you want to see how we implemented AI in other products at Microsoft, please leave that in the comments. And with that, D-Dave Kurt out.